Welcome to It All Boils Down to This, the podcast where father and son take the kitchen table arguments and heated discussions from their home directly to yours. Jim and Jack Boyle will explore the world as only they can. We might even let a few guests join the fun. So sit back, choose a side, watch the water temperature rise, and enjoy stimulating generational conversation about sports and life. Welcome to episode 46 of It All Boils Down to This. Jack and I are back from our vacation to Seattle City, New Jersey, where we spent a week in the house of Howard Feldman, Jack's mom's cousin's husband, in their house. We had a great time down Seattle City. So a lot happened in that last week and a half that we've been gone, Jack. First, we got some feedback on our top 10s. I know that people were liking it, not liking it, but that's irrelevant right now. Just a quick overview. What was your vacation like?
It was good. I watched a lot of sports. There was a lot of things going on, but the top 10 was like 3 years ago.
It was like a week and a half ago. We were only going a week. Now we're back in Massachusetts. So yeah, a lot happened. The first thing I want to go over is that we'll get back to the Olympics and all your bloviating and all that stuff, which was always fun. Bloviating huge. Kerr and Lyles. Everybody you hate, everybody you like, everybody. I just want to go back. Something happened right before we left. Alex Cora signed a 3-year extension for the Red Sox. One of the things that you had said was, if Cora signed, the first thing they have to do to win me back is to bring Alex back, and they did that. Highlight, what do you think that does for them, and what's your opinion on going forward?
Look, I said I would be back in on the Red Sox if they signed Cora. I've started to pay attention more. They're not good enough to do anything. We all can see that. People, you're fooling yourself if you're not. But I'll watch the games and I'll root for them. They might sneak in that third wild card. Their pitching's dying down a little bit. They didn't really do a ton at the deadline where it's like, oh, we're going to make a push this year, which they didn't need to because, again, their team's not good enough. But again, they get some players, fun to watch, a little bit of them, a little bit next year, and as you know, we get going moving forward. The young guys that are going to come up, they're going to be actually pretty fun to watch. So, you know, they signed Alex Cora. That's all they wanted them to do. And I'll admit, I won't admit I'm wrong. I'll just say like that was the most obvious thing in the world. So they did it, and good. That's good. So we're moving in the right direction.
Again, I agree with that. I think that the Hawks and the Cutter Crawfords and Pavetta are starting to show their true light here in the second half. It's been a tough road to hoe for, and it'll be hard. Bello, actually, I thought pitched better. They're still 2 pitchers away from being competitive in the East, and I think that's something that Breslow has to address in the offseason. You weren't going to make a deal like you're not going to bring Nate Eovaldi in here and maybe win one playoff game as a wild card, because I don't think their pitching depth is good enough to win multiple series as you go forward against better pitching as well as hitting. I think offensively they've really done a great job in staying afloat with Cassius and Story out. You know, the revelations that are Rafael and Duran has been great, and they've getting some good contribution from like the Hamiltons of the world. You know, even the guy they traded, who, if we remember when Vasquez got traded, everybody was pissing and moaning about somebody they traded for, and Heimblum has to get credit for something. You know, and Abreu, I think Wilyer Abreu has to get credit for that. I think he's going to be a good mainstay in the outfield, because it's one area where they aren't that deep in the minor league system, whereas they're really deep up the middle. They're just on the corner outfielders, and I think that if they could only get rid of that one contract, I think they'd be in great shape. But I think the question I have is, what does Cora bring? What do you see what does he bring to the table for these next 2 or 3 years?
He's just a good manager. There's so many bad managers in baseball that are just idiots and have no clue what they're doing, and they can't manage the clubhouse and blah, blah, blah. Cora is one of those guys. He's clearly the best manager in baseball. So what do you mean? That's all. It was so obvious to do it that it would have been so stupid. You can't sell me that you're trying to win baseball games if you weren't bringing back the best manager in baseball. That was my whole argument behind it. So they did. So they're at least showing me they might be interested in winning baseball games. We'll see next year. We will. And we'll see down the stretch here. They're at least, they're what, 7-8 games above 500. So at least they're going to be interesting to watch, but they're not. Don't think they're going to win anything.
I don't think they're winning anything right now either. I agree with that 100%. I think that they have a chance to make that their wild card. You know, they're behind Kansas City and Minnesota. And I was reading today, you know where Kansas City and Minnesota get the majority of their wins, right? They're 12-1 each against the Chicago White Sox. And the Red Sox have to play. Red Sox play the Orioles and the Yankees and the Blue Jays and the Blue Jays and the Rays, and they get to play. 12-1 is just a nightmarish thing for the White Sox. We'll talk about the White Sox later on. The Red Sox right now are 8 games above 500. They tied in the 1 game behind Kansas City and lost count. They got a 3-game series as we speak, starting this week. What surprised you so far on this Red Sox season? What guys?
I already said
You really like to
I
watch?
haven't watched the game. I don't know. I really haven't watched. I've watched the past week and a half. I don't know.
You've been to a couple games.
Surprised the guys who are doing good the guys that I thought would do good are doing good. Devers is having the best year like ever. He's one of the best players in baseball. It's been great to watch. He's must watch. You got to watch his at bats. He's awesome. That's what I like about him. Look, we're going forward. I do remember we did have this thing going on. You said we'd see 2 of the 3 of the big 3 prospects this year. We're gonna see 0 of them. It's like looking.
I wouldn't be shocked if Teal comes up. I wouldn't be shocked if the catcher
Well,
comes up.
I said we see 1, and you were like, no, we'll see 2.
I still think that if they're smart, they bring Mayer up for September just to get his feet wet. But I don't know how smart they are sometimes. That's up to the regime. But that's what I think. Teal will be up. Anthony will be the one to wait because he's 19, but Teal will be up, and Meyer just has to freaking stay healthy. He seems to be hurt every other week. It's just that's the curse of that pick right now for them. So
I love hearing that. That's great.
Yeah, but he gets it's a little nagging little things, and he's hitting a great job. His OPS over 800. Just like Anthony's starting to hit, Teal's hitting. They've just done a good job with position players. My biggest issue will be going into this fall, next spring, is they need to find quality pitchers who can be 1s and 2s, not 3s, 4s, and 5s. And right now they got a bunch of 3, 4, and 5s, and they'll have to figure that one out. So, on a final baseball note, who have you been watching? I know your fantasy team was changing.
My fantasy team's been repulsive too. I don't like my fantasy team, so I've not paid attention to baseball for the past month. There's been better things to do. There's been golf stuff. There's been the Olympics. There's been, my favorite sport in the world right now is tennis. I've been watching tennis there's been so much in tennis the past 2 months. So baseball I've not really thought about because straight from baseball I went to tennis. Tennis season, like it coincided where basketball ended, and I went straight into that. And I had the Euros, and I, that's
the Euros. I forgot the Euros.
And I had golf majors. So baseball's just really, it's not been relevant. But I'll start. Like I said, I like watching Devers. I like watching some of the guys. I'll start watching a little bit. So I don't have much to say about baseball this year. I don't.
Okay, like I said, some of the upcoming, we'll talk about the playoffs in the upcoming weeks as things start to settle down a little bit, and who should be favored and who shouldn't be. But let's switch to we'll go to tennis first because the Olympics. Well, prior to the Olympics, you had your friend won in Wimbledon. Let's go to the Olympics. So Alcaraz sort of dominated. He said he didn't get broken once all tournament, and he ends up getting a silver medal, losing to your arch nemesis there, right? Joe.
Well, he's not. I can't get a read on this guy. I can't get a read on this guy.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Can't get a read?
What he was doing? No, he's not. I can't get it. I think that knee injury was so overblown. Let's put that first. He after Wimbledon, it was like, oh, the knee injury. I don't know what happened at Wimbledon. That was weird. He played phenomenal, and that's on the clay, and you're sliding all over the place with his.
How many times has he won the French Open?
A month ago. No, I don't care. I'm talking about the knee right now. I'm not talking. He played when I'm telling you right now. People are going, "Oh, Prime Djokovic, he'd have beat Alcaraz easy." Dude, that was like you can't play better tennis than what I saw Djokovic play. He was like serving 85% of the first serve, nailing them. You can't get the ball past them. He was phenomenal.
So he deserved to win the gold medal.
Yeah, because he was better in the big moments. Yeah, correct. Yeah,
deserved to win the gold medal. Okay, that's fine. That's better than the big moments. Alcaraz.
He was out of this world good. He was out. I couldn't believe what I was watching. Because I was going to that match, I was like, Wimbledon, he kicked his ass. He's gonna just destroy this old man. And then it's like, what am I watching here? I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. It was in my short time of watching tennis. That was the best match I've watched.
The age difference was big, but there's also the level of he's old, but he's at least still skilled. He's still got some of his skill sets. Like Nadal had nothing. Watching him play with Alcaraz and the doubles, he had nothing. At least Djokovic has at least a little bit left in the tank, and he performed well. I think the most amazing stat was you told me that Alcaraz was never broken once in a cool stat, game, but he lost in the tiebreaker twice because he got broken in the tiebreaker, of course. So it's interesting. He's the future right now of tennis. There's probably 3 or 4 other guys. There's 2 Americans who played well. But he is the future of tennis. We'll see what happens. U.S. Open is about 3 weeks away. So when we get back on, probably episode 48, 49, maybe 50, we'll get to talk about how he's doing the U.S. Open. And again, he's a good young player, hits the ball hard. Those guys are unbelievably phenomenal tennis players, and he just got beat by a better player on a better day. That's how it works. You know,
And
that's
it is
why they play the tournament.
in the moment, like it's facing Djokovic. Well, but if he plays Djokovic in the U.S. Open final in like a month and a half from now, you got to look at it. That's a bigger match than the gold medal match they just played. He just beat him at Wimbledon. That's a bigger match than the gold medal match.
Well, you know, the Golden Slam.
It is. And I wanted that gold medal 100%.
That Golden Slam though is important.
I understand for Djokovic, of course, that gold medal match is more important than the U.S. Open. But in the grand scheme of things in tennis, like as a 21-year-old, winning the U.S. Open and winning Wimbledon against Djokovic is more important than beating him in a gold medal match. You know what I mean? Like no one's in 20 years from now, when you look back on his career, you're gonna think more of him beating Djokovic at Wimbledon than him losing to him.
If he doesn't win the gold medal ever, though, they'll think of him like some. It's problem.
Of course. But I'm banking on him winning a gold medal.
I'm banking.
At least 3 more attempts.
The bird in hand is worth 2 in the bush. He had a chance to win the gold medal and win it. That's all. Nothing is guaranteed down the line in life.
Okay, but again, when he's in the final at the U.S. Open against Djokovic in a month and a half from now, that's a bigger match.
Okay, that's fine. And it's a hard court service, and
it's also what works in his advantage there is it'll be a 5-setter. You got to win 3 set. You know.
Correct. If Djokovic makes it that far, yeah. I don't think Djokovic makes that far.
That's enough about tennis. That was fun. It was a great match. It's the best match I've watched in my time.
For the gold medal. Okay, now on to the other sport.
It was intense.
On the other sport that we had arguments about was golf. Scotty Scheffler shot a 62 final day to win the gold medal. Came from probably a 3 or 4 down. John Rahm had like a 4-shot lead going to the 9th hole and completely yacked it away. So again, those live golfers, I love those live golfers choking down the stretch, which is awesome to hear. Tommy Fleetwood made a had some poor luck on 17 where he had a great shot. It just sat in the wrong spot near the bunker, didn't fall in the bunker. He bogeyed there, so Scheffler got the win. Again, let's go back to it. Schauffele won 2 majors. He won the British Open right before we had.
That's what's important.
And Scheffler's won the 1 major, 6 or 7 events, and he won the gold medal. So again, we come back to, and I love this argument because
it's not even close. The argument's over.
Why is the argument over? Why is the argument
over? The way he won the gold medal and all that, and the way
doesn't matter because
he's had way better every year than Xander, and he won the Masters. It's not even close that he's the player of the year. You can say Xander all you want, but that's fine. You're wrong.
You just said 3 minutes ago that doesn't matter about the gold medal. You just said 3 minutes ago. 3 minutes ago it didn't matter the gold medal.
Okay, let's go do this then. If Djokovic had won Wimbledon, the biggest tennis match like the Masters are, and he had won like 5 other tournaments, which Djokovic has won 0 this year, and Alcaraz had just won the Australian Open and the U.S. Open, and then he lost, not the U.S. Open, and the French Open, and then he lost the gold medal to Djokovic, who only had 1 Grand Slam. I'd 100% say, yeah, of course it's Djokovic. Just like it's Scheffler. Look, 100% it's Scheffler.
I don't know why it's not Scheffler.
You
win 2 majors. I would like to look back. I'm going to look this up.
Doesn't matter. He won so many other tournaments. They played. You know how many times they played against each other? Scheffler beat him a ton. Way too many.
You told me a couple times ago. I got to find the video. What's the most important? The 4 majors are the most.
I understand. I'm not arguing, dude. I'm not. If Scheffler had won 3 tournaments, I would not be arguing this. He's won so much. And he just won this in like incredible fashion. Shot a 29 on the back 9. It's his. He's going to win the FedEx Cup too. He'll win the playoffs there. So he's going to win the Player of the Year. Whether you like
that's the prediction. He's win.
It happened 1 year with Cantley and John Rahm. Rahm won a major, and Cantley won all these tournaments, and Cantley won the Player of the Year.
But John Rahm won 1 major. Schauffele won 2 majors.
They're acting like Scheffler didn't win the Masters, like dominate the Masters.
He did, but he didn't.
He won the Players.
He won. Oh, he won the Players. Schauffele won the U.S. Open and the PGA and the Open Championship.
Okay, cool.
And your boy Disco won the Open. Schauffele won the PGA. Okay, yeah. I just wonder. He played great. I give the guy credit. He made putts when he has to make putts. When he's making putts, he's unbeatable. It's no doubt about it. But again, he was up and down all the way, and everybody else. It seems like it's just like with Tiger too. Everybody's their level. They start to fall off, and then Scheffler just cranks it up just a little bit. And he's just that much better. So I got to give the guy credit. He played his heart out.
You just thought so in a field with Schauffele, it's like there's a guy that's that much better. Yeah, that's the Player of the Year coming in.
And Shoffley didn't play well. Sometimes you don't play well, just like at the whatever
The
tournament.
majority of the time this year, Scheffler's played better than him. Simple. And it's not like Scheffler didn't win the Masters. Next topic. What's the next sport? Gymnastics. No one's ever been as wrong as me when I said Simone Biles shouldn't have been at the Olympics, because she's clearly probably the most popular and like electrifying athlete at the Olympics. So I was wrong about that. That was good to see her win. She did lose today to the Brazilian girl.
Because she went out, Amanda told me she went out of bounds twice, 3 times.
That's
You know,
too bad.
the relevance of it is this, that she had mental issues. You gotta also remember, you gotta also remember that these gymnastic girls went through the Nasser crap stuff, that was in their brains big time for like 75 of these women athletes. He was doing bad things to them they shouldn't have. So that's on top of getting whatever you call the twisties, and then they still keep coming back and winning and winning. She's a phenomenal athlete. I still like her in my top 10, like I said last podcast. She showed even more in just the phenomenal ability. But I'm telling you, some of those girls, even the girl from Brazil who won the floor and finished second all around, she's a damn good gymnast. These are good gymnasts, and you know it's the marquee event of the first part of the Olympics. You don't ever hear about the male gymnasts because they don't. The American males won a bronze medal, and that's really all you heard about. Now all you hear about is the girls team, the women's team, which is phenomenal. So you are wrong about her competing in the Olympics. Do you see her in the top 10 of all-time athletes for this century then?
Yeah, that's fine. We don't. Yeah, sure.
Okay, that's simple enough. How much?
I'm living in the moment. I'm enjoying the moment. I don't have to think about her all-time record. How
much gymnastics did you get to watch?
I watched a decent amount. I don't know. I watched enough. I saw her do her routine and her flips and all this stuff. I don't know what I'm watching. I'm not a huge gymnastics guy.
Me too. Your sister was with us, man.
But you can tell that she's better than everyone else.
Amanda was helping us with some of the terminology and stuff, so that was good because we had no clue. I'm just watching the athleticism of these people. It's just phenomenal, and I know they get the bouncy bounce off the mat, but the stuff on the bars and the vault and the beam, it's just they're good, incredible tiny little athletes, but they really did a good job. So that was the first week. The other big story, before we get to the major story of the week, was the swimming. Swimming happened. Did you watch any of this with Katie Ledecky?
No, not really. Yeah.
Katie Ledecky, one of my top 10s. Again, won the 800 for the fourth time and the 1500 for the second time. The only time it's been competed. She's won an individual event in the Olympics 4 different times: Brazil, London, Rio, Tokyo, and Paris. Some of the bigger cities. And it's a shout out to her. The American men struggled a little bit, I think, and as a former swimmer, I would say that the reason they struggle is the rest of the world catches up, just like in the sport we're going to talk about next. The rest of the world does eventually catch up to you. A lot of these guys who swam for the other nations are coming here to swim in college. They're getting good coaching, great facilities, great pools. So I think that it was sort of like a disappointment not to win a lot, but again, they go to compete and see what happens and enjoy it. And like I said, Amanda did a little bit of gymnastics. I did swim up until I was 18 years old, so I do have an understanding of what they're going through. Those guys are just so much faster than I ever would have been. So if you put me against them in like a 200, and you gave me a 50-meter advantage, they would catch and pass me and beat me, almost lap me. So that's how it goes. I have a great appreciation for swimmers. Let's go to USA basketball. And what happened over the course of last week with your favorite player.
I should just go through all my grievances is really what I should do. So
all right, let's go. Okay, Jackson, I'm going to take a sip of water.
USA basketball, there's not even a grievance anymore because like everyone can't stand the guy. Steve Kerr, Draymond Green, his own players calling him out for being an idiot coach. And he like thinks he has to play these set rotations. He has no flexibility, no adaptability. He's got a great team. I don't even like watching the Team USA basketball team play. I know LeBron's playing really good. I know, Steph Curry, all this. But I don't want to watch LeBron dribble the ball. I want to watch, Anthony Edwards dribble the ball and be the guy. And Tatum get more touches. And Bam get more touches. And play through Anthony Davis and stuff like that. I want to see LeBron all the time. Bring the ball up the court, dribble, and make the play. LeBron. He's 40 years old. I've seen enough LeBron in my career. Let me see. There's so much talent on this Team USA. Let me see the other guys. But no, we had to build this team about LeBron and Steph because their egos. We got to stroke their egos, and they have to be the face of USA basketball. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm fine. Kevin Durant, he's putting his time. He played at the last Olympics. He can be the guy on this team. He should be the guy on this team. So that's my USA basketball thing. They're going to win the gold, but they're boring to watch, and no one will say it because everyone's so. They're all people can't. LeBron, LeBron. They won't say it. Just that it's annoying to watch. Nobody will say it. So that's my Team USA basketball thing. What's my next one?
Wait. I'm chiming in on USA basketball, first of all. I still think the 92 Dream Team was better. But and I think you're right. The ball can't go through LeBron. Have somebody else. Let LeBron play down low and bang around. They used to do this with the Celtics before they would. It was called the Paul Pierce clog toilet offense. They get him the ball, Paul Pierce would dilly and dally top of the key, and maybe make a drive and a layup or a dunk, or maybe feed it to somebody who could make a shot. I think that's where I think Kerr has lost his way with the team. Curry's eventually going to hit shots. I have nothing against Steve Kerr with Stephon Curry, but because he got layup. I'm surprised what Draymond Green said though, being a player for him. But again, there's a supremely talented group of players out there. I think the second unit, if you put Durant, Embiid, Curry, James, and whoever else you put on that first unit, a second unit would beat them. Anthony Davis, Anthony Edwards, put Derek White, put trying to think of
here be the lineup. If you wanted to play, let's just for the sake of it, we'll take Tatum out of the first team lineup. If you wanted to play a lineup of Steph, Durant, LeBron, Embiid, I guess I have to give you Davis, but I don't want to. I think the second unit could probably beat them. I do. A second unit.
I think he's afraid to play Embiid with Davis.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I just don't like it. It's not that I'm saying that like this isn't LeBron's not playing good and all. I'm just saying it's a boring brand for the Team USA basketball. Where, like I said, you shouldn't be allowed to dribble the ball more than 3 times. You shouldn't.
Yeah, and then I would say this as a Celtic, we were spoiled a lot with the way that team played. This past championship team played. We were spoiled. They moved the basketball like it was perfect. Whenever they slowed the basketball down is when they hit their problems. Whenever Tatum or Brown would slow it down. So what's happening is when LeBron slows the game down, there's just no flow to anything, and they're just hucking up wild shots. Like I said, my ideal lineup would be I put Derek at the point guard. I put Tatum at the off, or actually Davis. I put Edwards at the off guard, Tatum at the 3, Bam at the 4, Anthony Davis at the 5. You're very quick and long, athletic. Most teams aren't going to be able to score against you. You don't have the greatest outside shooting they ever lived, but Derek and Edwards and Tatum should be able to blow up. That's really, to me, one of the better units that they can put out there. Then you can put the old man unit out there, which is the old men. Holiday, Durant, Curry, James, and Embiid, because he looks like an old man. I just want to bring Embiid up. I want to bring Embiid up. Does he look horrible? If you're a Sixer fan and you're watching this and you're watching your superstar player, doesn't he look horrible?
Yeah, but that's the style.
Is that the injury or what?
He doesn't fit in the team. They just didn't need him. They had Davis. Getting Anthony Davis meant they didn't need him. I mean,
right. I think a lot of this is, like you said, they're kissing the asses on these great players, and I wish it would be different. I'm sure we have to now wait. We'll have to wait for 4 more years. There'll be even some better younger players coming along, and like I think the future of the league is the Americans in the league is secure. I still think they're going to have trouble with Germany again and with Canada, depending on if they play them. Canada could give them problems because Canada can up and down the floor. I don't know if Canada.
No, they won't. They won't. They'll beat them easily.
There's going to be a game where one of James.
I think
the odds of them winning are good. I think
James or Kerr.
I think their odds of winning are astronomical, but there's still a chance that they shit the bed because they have the talent to shit the bed. That's all. I think they're going to win, but let's say Wembanyama goes nuts and the home court goes crazy, and all of a sudden, they start hucking up.
Fine. They're not losing. They're not losing, but they're not losing.
Okay, so that's you're staking.
They won't play no loss, no close game.
No close games. Okay, I'll take that. And then what was your other?
This Noah Lyles guy. It's hard I'll tell you, he's done something. It's hard to still be a loser when you're that big of a winner. That's all I'll say about him. He's just the way he's. I don't know. He's just tough to watch. He is.
Why? Okay. So, does your distaste for him come from the fact that
Yeah, of
he's the
course.
world champion, the Celtics aren't
For
world
sure. For sure. But there's ways you can act like Djokovic acts better when he wins than that and stuff. Like he's so like it's not like the arrogance is natural. Where like Bolt's arrogance was so natural, it felt like where it feels like what he's trying to do is he's trying to like cause controversy. He's trying to be in your face. He's trying to be arrogant like that. Well, Usain Bolt just had this like this way about him where he was arrogant, but it came across in a different way. I don't know.
Okay.
He went out of his way to say that basketball thing. He went out of his way to cause that controversy. You know what I mean?
To be the center of attention.
I saw something. He was liking tweets about it too earlier. That's my point. He wants to be like that. And I've called those people out for a while. You know, I have.
Who's the other one you called out?
I'm trying to think. There's many of them. I mean, like you could say Ronaldo, Deion Sanders. There's plenty.
Okay. I again, he won by a hair. Not even that, by the lean. I think he's manufacturing his controversies on purpose. I think you have to shut that out and let him have his manufactured controversies. He's a great athlete. There's no doubt about it. If he doubles in the 100 and 200, just like Bolt did, I think he and Bolt are absolutely positively no different. Bolt's just got a more bubbly, friendly kind of personality. That's the only difference between you like Bolt more because Bolt was just, I love that. Look how great I am. All that crap you don't even slow down the race when they won.
I don't know. It just felt
Bolt was shoving it in everybody's face. And I think he was
but it felt more. I don't know. It felt like I don't know.
It felt like it was contrived. I think it is contrived. But again, that's what the event's about. It's a contrived event. He's not the. How can you? Here's the other question. I'm going to ask you this question. How can you say the fastest person in the world when the whole world doesn't get an opportunity to compete?
Shut up! Don't give me that.
How can you do that?
No, because we're not counter. See, it's like you can't give legitimacy to his argument by countering it with something like that. Just don't even say he's the fastest guy in the world. Sure. And the Celtics are the world basketball champions. There's not a team in the world that can beat them. There's not a player.
I totally agree.
They had the best players, blah, blah, so you can't give it legitimacy by going to anything like that. It's such a bad take. It's so stupid. And all of my soccer people online from England, he's right, No, you guys are idiots. Idiots. It's so stupid. These soccer people are so arrogant about that too. What are you going to say world championship with the World Cup? You didn't play everybody. The Celtics beat Luka Doncic in the NBA Finals. Where's he from? St. Louis?
No, that's not true. Oh, yeah. I think one of the things that happens to you is you let this stuff bother you. A lot of this stuff,
Smith makes $15 million a year. He's straight. He's down my pastor. That was like the greatest clip ever, but not playing Tatum. My pastor doesn't like me to swear, and then he takes a pause. But that's some bullshit. He lets it get to him. Why don't you say it to Stephen A. Smith?
I'm just going back to a lot of it's the Olympics. That's what happens. He you know what though? To his credit, he won.
Yeah, okay. And they say he's really good at the 200 too. So we have to suffer through him winning that too.
Rip his thing off. That's what he's doing. That's what they do. That's what they do. Do you don't think that the basketball players are going to do that when they win? They're not going to walk around like they just finished a practice. They're going to prove. They're going to weigh their shit and they're going to win. That's what you do when you win. You're loud. The winners. To the victor goes the spoils. Simple as that. Simple as that. And he won.
He was loud before he won. Very loud.
And he's going to be loud now because he's promoting a sport.
I'm just saying it would have been an all-time if he didn't medal, which he was this close to not medaling.
He was that close to not medaling. That's correct.
He would have been ripped apart.
He would have been. And you know what?
That's how this world works.
And he would have known. And you know what? He knew he would get ripped.
Yeah,
just like when you bloviate about you. It's just like when you bloviate about your Man United shit, and you're gonna get ripped if you're wrong, which you're wrong every year with this.
We're not going to win the league.
The Olympics. We were watching badminton yesterday, which to me was a phenomenal thing. We didn't see the end of it, and horse and dressage and the horses, and it's just the one thing about the Olympics is they did a great job in Paris and utilizing the city and making it more enjoyable for the viewer I don't like sometimes the canned stuff NBC does, but they did a lot of great live stuff because we were way on the week. We were
It's-
on vacation. So we almost saw everything we wanted to live, which was great. But the city's done a great job. You know that 2024 was when Boston wanted to get the Olympics. I don't think you're probably too young when that happened, but we could have had the Olympics this year.
It'd be hard to like scenically mess up an Olympics in Paris. You have the Eiffel Tower. They got like the beach volleyball court there. They've done the bike cycling at the Eiffel
Yeah.
Tower. And then they're doing the horse stuff in Versailles. So you'd have to try to mess it up like in terms of visuals with Paris. They have
Yeah,
but no, it's been good. The events are good. I don't know what there still is to come. I mean, there's
track and field, and then all the basketball finals come up. U.S. women got a bronze medal in 3-on-3 today. I think I heard, which is a weird. I haven't even watched 3-on-3, but it doesn't look like it's too fun. You know, so it's like they're cramping.
Remember, for that was a college phenom as like a senior and a junior in college, like 15 years ago. It feels like.
Well, the problem is you can't put an NBA player in that because it's too much risk of getting hurt. I think.
Well,
But again, we got to say wide as ABC Wide World of Sports. You say a wide variety of sports. And like I said, I was a swimmer. You started to look into tennis, which is great. You know, we got the basketball to watch, volleyball, beach volleyball, all sorts of stuff. I just can't figure out why they make those girls wear those tiny little uniforms when they're in beach volleyball. It's ridiculously sexist, but who knows? I think it's stupid. Let them be athletes. Be athletes. It's so stupid. You know. Oh yeah, there's my daughter playing beach volleyball. Look at that little.
Right. This is one. Okay. Yep. Next.
Okay. The next piece. I want to ask you this because they've talked about this. And we talked about ad infinitum the forest. What sport do you think Jack Boyle?
This is the dumbest question ever.
What sport? What sport?
None.
You don't know sport? You're not good at
What do you
archery?
mean?
What sport could be what sport do you think the average what sport do you think the good athlete, that's gonna make a good high school athlete, could compete in the Olympics with the Olympic level player? Where is the gap the smallest?
None.
None?
Honestly, I have to look through all of them. There's none. There's none. Honestly, have you watched some? What are you thinking? What's like the answer here?
I would, to be honest with you, I would go golf.
So that just proves my point. Okay, thank you. That just proved my point that there's absolutely none.
The number one ranked
Decent high school golfer, I consider myself, okay, that's different than number one ranked amateur. If you're giving me the number one ranked amateur in all these sports, sure, for sure. Them are amateurs. That was stupid. No,
I think the horse
number one ranked amateur. Okay, give me Cooper Flack. He wouldn't look that out of play. He'd be the best player on some of these teams.
I would say, so you don't think there's any sport that they could compete?
No, not even close.
Because you can't hit the ball long.
What do you do? I'm gonna go do gymnastics. I can't even do a handstand.
No shit, no kidding. You're never doing gymnastics.
What am I? I can't even swim a lap. What am I gonna do? Maybe the 100 because like I wouldn't lose by 30 seconds. I don't lose by like
because you could probably still run 15 seconds, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you be in the blocks. No, I just think it's neat. This is how good they are. Did you see the picture of the archery? How long it's like they got to shoot the arrow like a football.
Yeah. So what do you think? If you answer that question, you're wrong.
To be honest with you, probably the one that probably the shooting stuff with the guns and the rifles.
Yeah, but you don't realize how good they are. No, but you don't realize how good those. You don't realize.
I know. I'm sure those rednecks would get them.
Freakishly good those guys are. You just don't.
Well, of course, if you're at that level of sport, you're freakishly good.
There's 7 billion people in the sport. There's people that are good at everything, like freakishly good at every single thing you can think of. Like turning off this light switch right here. There's some dude in this world who could turn this light switch like on and off like a million times in a minute.
Well, first of all, that's not true. That's horseshit. Yeah, I'm calling you horseshit on that. Turn the light switch on. No way. Okay, that's fun. It's neat. I mean, like, I was watching the girls do the uneven bars, and Mom was saying the hardest part is pulling yourself up on the first jump. I said, shit, I couldn't even pull myself up if I got moving around. I couldn't even flip around once. I could dive off a high dive though. I've done that before.
Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah, but you couldn't.
But I'm also 62 years old.
Yeah. Could you do
the only sport right now?
Could you from that high dive do like 4 flips and land yourself perfect without a splash? Because that's what they're.
I do.
So that's
the only sport a guy at my age could do now is the horse stuff. I don't know the horse, so I don't think it's going to happen.
You'd fall off the horse.
I probably would. I rode a horse like twice in my life, and it was tough to do. Those are big animals. I'm telling you right now, they're big animals. As we get ready to close up, upcoming weeks, a lot's going to happen over the next 4 or 5 weeks as we get into August now. Football training camp, like nobody cares. If they care about the Patriots, they're a complete whack job betting fiend. And
about training camp, Green Bay called Simone Biles' husband, told him to get his ass back.
It's not Green Bay anyway, it's Chicago.
Oh, he's in Chicago now?
This is Bears now.
Well, they were like,
that's what you brought up to me. Remember? Oh yeah, I wanted to get this one on here. They named the top players in the NFL, and Mahomes was number 4.
Useless. Another useless thing. That's NFL player vote, which is weird. What are those players doing?
1 was Tyreek Hill, 2 was Jefferson.
No, I think 2 was someone, and then 3 was someone. I don't know, McCaffrey and someone. Oh, Lamar Jackson and McCaffrey.
Lamar Jackson was out of Patriots. Okay, no, it's just what happens. That's how it works. And all right, we'll get our college football expert.
He didn't have a great regular season, but I don't know who's thinking about the regular season anymore from last year.
No. Hey, and so football's going to happen. We'll get Jay Trev around again to get his input, even though he is now big time in the college.
Oh, Kevin's all pumped for the college football stuff too.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. Kevin's pumped. If Kevin ever gets back from Cincinnati, he'll do some college football stuff for us. Shout out to my boy Kevin, who had a big lead over me going to the weekend in fantasy night. They come back and beat him, and then he got stuck in Cincinnati for the.
I'm sure he'll be happy.
And the market crash of the world today, as he was texting with you, it's like 1929 all over again. He wasn't even alive, and he don't remember 08. These things happened. 2020, 2008, 1999, 1987. It just happens. It's a cyclical thing the way the world works. So that's a business thing. We'll get them all for business. And then we're gonna have.
I don't think we'll get them off for business.
No, we won't. And then the Premier League soccer starts up in 3 weeks? You said?
Yeah, we're getting real close with DeLitt and this other right back from Bayern. But again, losing Lenny Euro is gonna hurt. We already have so many injuries. We'll see. We should be all right. We look decent. We didn't have great results in preseason. Like we lost to Liverpool 3-0, but we actually played pretty good. It's just like Mason Mount can't put the ball in the back of the net. We'll get our full team. I think we're actually quite decent. I think we might surprise some people. And I could be dead wrong with that with a couple injuries here and there, but I think if we stay fully fit and Casemiro doesn't see the field, Casemiro and Jadon Sancho don't see the field, we'll be a pretty good team. If one of those two's playing, we're toast. If Casemiro's playing, we're toast. But
so friends of the pod, friends of It All Boils Down to This, get ready for a whole season of Man United talk with Jack Boyle. We'll get some of the other guests on. We got to get Tommy T in eventually after the Olympics, just to get him on. I mean, Tommy, if you're watching, I got to get you on just for the fun of having him on. We can actually get back in the studio now because the studio is going to be open until 6 o'clock a couple of nights. So if we want to, we do a show from the studio as well. The new studio is just about ready to open up. They have a new podcast studio that they're putting together. We can do that as well. So a lot coming up. Baseball playoffs will happen. College football is going to start. Temple opens up on the road at Oklahoma. Probably minus 50?
Yeah, we're not talking about that game.
That game will be a complete and utter annihilation of my Temple house. And so that's what we get there. A lot going on. Any last words as we get ready to hit August, Jack, on episode 46? What do you got?
Oh, I wish I had some, but I really don't. Just the Celtics are the world champions. That's all I got.
Celtics, the world champions. Red Sox are going to make my prediction right now, Red Sox make the 1 wild card, and then Houck gets blown up in the first game.
That's the other thing. It's like, what, are the Red Sox not going to be the world champions? They were all. Our best player is Rafael Devers.
And we have a Japanese guy. That's right.
It's just the dumbest argument ever.
That's irrelevant. All right, so we're going to stop that argument for now. So, Jack Boyle, I'm Jim Boyle. It all boils down to this, episode 46, and we'll see you on down the road. Thanks for listening to this episode of It All Boils Down to This, recorded at WCTV Studios in our hometown of Wilmington, Massachusetts. We're always open to any ideas, critiques, topics, and guests. So if anyone out there in podcast world needs to get a hold of us, we can be reached via email at jboyle22@comcast.net. Along with Jack Boyle, I'm Jim Boyle. Make sure to tune in to the next edition of It All Boils Down to This.